He left an incredible mark on the nation and the Circle City itself. And here to talk about the legend and his legacy is local sports marketer and attorney Milt Thompson, who knew the iconic boxer. And Milt, thanks a lot for joining us this morning. How long ago was it that you met Muhammad Ali? What were the circumstances?
I think it was a little early in the 80s, after and before his Parkinson's kind of took control, but he was still very outgoing. And it was at the Indiana Black Expo when they had their boxing matches here, and I had represented a few local boxers and was given some VIP opportunity to meet and greet with Muhammad, and we became fast friends and had several opportunities to have conversations with him later.
He was so well known, not just for his boxing talent, but his charm and personality, the opinions he expressed. At the time that you were able to meet with him, what were your impressions then?
Well, by that time, this was prior to social media, you'd wondered how it is he became such a worldwide icon. And it was a lot about his earlier gifts and about how he really exploited his gifts in the boxing ring, but more so about how it is he was outspoken on cultural issues and soul issues. In fact, where he was able to sacrifice 3 years of his career simply because of being a conscientious objector.
You talk about the influence of social media today, but back then when Ali spoke, people listened. His actions, his words, his opinions, instantly people were talking about them on the street corner. What were some of the lessons and some of the influence that he had on America at the time?
Well, America at the time, if you think you're talking about the 60s, when he was in the Olympic Games, and that's when we really first got our first shot of Cassius Clay as an Olympian. But he didn't have the traditional Olympian champion following into his professional career because at that time in the 60s, as you know, the social struggles in the civil rights movement were significant. Vietnam War, all the changes, the segregation orders hadn't even come forward, and there was this young, brash black man talking. And that's all that people saw, was this brash man talking without the ability at the time when it was that black people should probably kind of stay in their place and not really be so forthcoming with that. But he was been able to back it up because of his extreme skill. At that time, the heavyweight champion of the world was already considered iconic. And then to have this brash talking American coming in and all of a sudden changing his name to something that was kind of foreign to those, and the black Muslims, and what was that all about? And was that for violence or was that for anti-violence? And would he side with Martin Luther King or would he side with Malcolm X? Those were all the things that were kind of contentious around him. The thing that wasn't considered was his tremendous skill as a heavyweight, as a big boxer, a fast boxer, one who tried to style. He was a rapper before rap was popular.
Yes.
He did his poetry. And I also recall there was a lot of debate about whether or not he or Howard Cosell made one another famous.
Yes.
Because the old Howard Cosell would say, you know, the valiant pugilist from Louisville, and Muhammad Ali would turn and said, if that's good, I'm that.
Exactly. Yes, just so many memorable conversations between those two alone. What kind of lasting impact do you think he's left here in the Indianapolis community?
Well, I think that he left because, you know, this was a kind of a heyday of boxing, really, in Indianapolis, and the Marvin Johnsons and others that were significant boxers around here, and then we had actually had world-class fights here in our community, and that's when the day before when boxing was really king. It had the same sort of impact that the NFL had these days, but he transcended the United States. He became a worldwide icon in a time when others would say, well, we don't think that they deserve that kind of transcendent status. So it had an impact anytime he visited almost any location. And they've obviously embraced him, not only in Indianapolis, but I was in his hometown, Louisville.
All right, certainly a powerful figure inside the ring and outside as well. Milt Thompson, thanks a lot for visiting with us and your insight this morning. Appreciate it.
It's always good to see you.
All right, thank you.